What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Lucas Live. My name is Lucas Tyndall. I am excited to be here with you guys today. It is Monday, June 8th already. Ladies and gentlemen, we are moving through June already. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Give me your weekend update if you're watching live or by replay. How was your weekend? What did you do? Did you go to the mental health walk with My Sister's Oil? Did you go down to Columbus like I was with the Ohio High School Athletic Association Track and Field Championship? Shout out to all the great athletes who were down there performing. Shout out to Jordan Miller. Jordan Miller was down there with like all kinds of cameras and teams and stuff, catching a lot of the content, a lot that was going on out there. It was so much fun. There were some really nice moments with the weather, and there were some moments where it was like storming and crazy. We kind of missed the crazy storm, and it was nice. We got to miss some of that. And then other times it was like superhuman and really hot. But it was amazing to be down there. A lot of Stark County athletes really showed up and did a wonderful, wonderful job. We're going to talk about that. In the meantime, everybody, let's make sure we share this broadcast. Again, if you're watching even by replay, you're like, well, why would I share it now? It's a day later, because it tells the algorithm that you cared enough about the show that you think others should see it, and it helps it go out to more people. Then sometimes you share the broadcast and nobody likes your post. You're like, I shouldn't have shared that because nobody liked it. But you should have shared it, because it's not about that somebody liked it or not. It's that the algorithm realizes that you thought it was valuable enough to share the broadcast. So then they show it to more people. So share the broadcast. Okay, that's what I'm going to do now. Because we are live at Lucas Live Media. So I'm going to go to Lucas Live Media on Facebook here, and I'm going to share it to my Lucas Tyndall page, my personal page, to make sure that more people can wake up with us here this morning or check out this replay. It was that easy. I just hit share and boom, there it is. It posted. If you're watching us on YouTube or LinkedIn, you can hit the share button and send it to your team, your family group chat, somebody out there who you think needs to know about today. Today, we are talking to Ashley Gantz from Stark County Minority Business Association. We're going to learn more about that. For people who are curious, one, about what is Stark County Minority Business Association, how is it beneficial? You have a small business, you're thinking about starting a small business, you don't know. You don't even know if you qualify. You're like, am I a minority or not? Some of you are like, I know I'm a minority. I look in the mirror, I know I'm a minority. And some of you are like, I don't know. Well, did you know if you're even just a women-owned business, you're a minority-owned business? And there's a lot of women-owned businesses that may not think that they're a minority, but you are, and it's important to know that. So we'll identify that. They are also going into some new regions in our area, different counties and different things. They're really expanding, and the services they provide are excellent, but a lot of people don't know about it. So we want to let you guys know about it today and talk to you guys more about it. They also have a Shop the Block coming up, a great vendor show, some fun. I think bounce houses. All I know is everybody who has an event, you throw up a bounce house. That's how you get people over. You're like, people just want to throw their kids in a bounce house and have a good time. So I think they may. If they don't, we'll put a little bouncy chair or something. We'll work it out, okay? But there'll be things for families to do, and it's going to be a great time for you guys to check out this coming weekend. So make sure you guys check that out. We also want to shout out our sponsors. We're so grateful for our advertisers and our sponsors. The number of sponsors and advertisers is continuing to grow. So we're really excited about that. We just officially signed a new advertising partner this weekend. We signed a new one last week. So to shout out our advertising partners, first and foremost, we want to thank SARTA for continuing to advertise and work with us and continue to do all they do in the community as they show up on the ballot. Again, they will in November. I want you guys to be thinking about how important it is. Now, it may not be issue 4 this time, it might be issue 12. I don't know. But I want you guys to think about how important it is for a community to have public transit. You go to other big cities and they have public transit and you think nothing of it, as though their government, their cities aren't doing things to help support that. The people have to support it with tax revenue. And we hope that you guys will support SARTA. So shout out to SARTA. Also shout out to Jessica Danielle Nails in the NC Nail Lounge and the Jessica Danielle Nail Bar, which is on Fulton. And then she has the new NC Nail Lounge on Main Street in North Canton, Ohio. Make sure you guys check out Jessica Danielle Nails. It's that time of the year, right? You're going out, you're going to the beach, you're going places, you want to get your hands, your feet, all that stuff done. Ladies and gentlemen, whoever you are, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go because guys should go too. Get your hands and your feet together. You can't be out on the beach just looking crazy, guys. So we all gonna go. Okay, we'll all go together. All right, but check out Jessica Danielle Nail Bar and NC Nail Lounge. She also has a phenomenal team. So one thing that happens is people want to get Jessica and they're like, I can't get Jessica, so I can't get anybody. That's not true. There's plenty of great people that she has there. So make sure you guys check that out. Also, shout out to the Linda Reibenstein team. Reibenstein team. She's located in Canton South, but she's a realtor. She's been in real estate for over 20 years. Has an amazing team. If you guys are looking for a realtor to buy or sell with, We want you to work with people who work with us. She's somebody who works with us, so we'd love for you to work with her. Lots of experience, has done she has sold so many houses. I always say that now the families of those she sold to, their kids grow up and now they're buying houses from her. So she's been doing it for a long time. She knows the ins and outs and does a wonderful job. So shout out to her. And our latest advertising partner, which you guys will see more, is Ace Carpet Cleaning. So shout out to Ace Carpet Cleaning, owned by my friend Jenny Gentile. Shout out to her and her team. She also owns Jenny Can Cleaning Company. So Ace Carpet Cleaning will now be an advertising partner with us. We're so excited about them. You guys will be hearing a lot more about them. If you need your carpets cleaned, taken care of, they will take care of that. Good morning, Jasha. Thank you for jumping in here. Hello. Good morning. Say hello when you guys jump into the chat. I know you guys are waking up. It's Monday morning, right? So if you're waking up, it's Monday morning and you're like, I'm just getting myself together, say hello in the chat or turn this on like a podcast. If you can't watch every minute of it, that's okay. Just lean in like a podcast. All right. A couple things we want to talk about as well. The African American Festival. That's not what that is. That says kids doing comedy. So what I want to tell you about is my second guest. Lydia will be here and we're going to be talking about kids doing comedy, which I have the honor of hosting. It'll be downtown here at Centennial Plaza this Thursday. You guys see the flyer right here at 7 p.m. I got to go meet the young people, some of the young people who are going to be performing. It was so much fun. I'm so excited about it. I always say I want to say I always say, I can't say I always say this because I never thought about this before. But when I talked to Lydia and she was asking me if I would host, I was like, these are two things I really love. I love comedy. So I love comedy. I mean, I am a huge comedy fan, know so many comedians. I love to laugh. If you guys know me, I'm like lighthearted, love to laugh, absolutely love comedy. Okay. And I also love kids. You guys, a lot of you know me as Mr. Lucas from McKinley Early Childhood. Remember all those years I was working with kids and families? And I still see people and they call me Mr. Lucas because I was Mr. Lucas at McKinley Early Childhood Center for 15 years. And I love children. And so to be able to work with kids in this way is so exciting. And they do camps and programming and things where kids get to learn how to write jokes and do sketch comedy and other things, which I think is the coolest thing ever. So I'm super excited to be a part of this. Lydia will be on from Canton Comedy Boom to talk to us about what Canton Comedy Boom is. There's not just things for kids, there's things for adults that go on often right here in downtown Canton, Ohio, that you can be a part of, that you can come check out, come to some shows. And then Kids Doing Comedy is this Thursday. I'd love for you guys to come out and check it out. I'd love for them to see some faces maybe that they've never seen before. They're like, who are those people in the audience? Like just some people who heard about it from Lucas Live, and here they are. Okay, so we want to invite you out to that today, and Lydia is going to be here to talk to us more about that today. We also have the African American Festival coming up in July. We are in partnership with them to bring this to all of you and bring this word to all of you. We'll be bringing some guests on who are involved and talking to you about some more things that are going on with this. There's a gospel kickoff. There's vendors, resources. There'll be a fashion show, live bands, and so much more. July 11th, a full day, and you guys will be able to see the calendar and say, okay, what time do I want to get down there to see this or that? But when you come down, you want to make sure that you guys support the businesses, the vendors, the get some local food, and just have a good time. The Greek Fest was just this past weekend. Danny on our team went down to the Greek Fest to check that out because we know it's important that we support all cultures. So we don't want to just say, well, I'm going to go to the cultural festival that most resonates with me. We think we should go to all cultural festivals to celebrate culture overall. I mean, people were at a pickle fest. I don't even know what culture that is, but a lot of people's down at the pickle fest having a great time. Shout out to our friend Juanita, who was a pickle fest representative, her and Kiana and Miracle and everybody who was down there at pickle fest. So make sure you guys plan to come down to the African American Fest on July 11th. We'll be talking about it from now until then to keep you guys informed, to keep it on your mind and keep it on your calendar. We'll also, again, today be talking about the Shop the Block event, a summer social community open house. We want you guys to come down and see the building down on 10th that Scumba has opened, and it's a beautiful space. They have a lot of vendors, a lot of great things. I know I go down there for Robin Lemon's Lemon Creations. That's what I go down there for mostly. You know, I mean, she makes a mean Texas sheet cake. But I would recommend you get something else because I'd prefer to have all the Texas sheet cake to myself. So go down there and get some cookies or something, but go check it out. Nate Misner's down there. My man Channing Hawkins is down there with his energy drinks. So many other great vendors are down there. So we're going to go down there June 13th. That's this weekend. Check them out and support those local businesses. They're going to have a live DJ. They're going to have food trucks, giveaways, and more. We got to go check this out. It's going to be family friendly and fun. Ashley's going to be on here in just a minute to tell us more about this great event. And last but not least, I want to shout out my girl, Savannah Ray Tyndall, and her team, her 4x100 team. They placed on the podium this weekend at States, and I'm so proud of her. That's her and her team. There's twins on the end, Peyton and Kinley, and Maya there in the middle, and then my daughter in the middle, Savannah. They did a wonderful, wonderful job. They broke their school record. They broke their school record. They already had the school record, and they broke their own school record at the event this weekend. They're only juniors. They have a whole another year to do it again and go even further. So shout out to all the great teams that performed. Hoover, Jackson, McKinley had a young man who performed really well. Jackson's boys 4x100 got first place, which they were even shocked. It was amazing. Shout out to them. They did a wonderful, wonderful job. I went up to some of the people celebrating. I'm like, we're from Hoover, and Jackson is our rival, Hoover Jackson. But I mean, it's not like Massillon McKinley. It wasn't like it was I couldn't do it if it, no, I would have done it if it was Massillon. But I went up to them and congratulated them. And we're really proud of our Stark County athletes. So shout out to all the Stark County athletes. Go follow Jordan Miller. He's going to be posting a lot of information about this. Good morning, Miss Gail Danzy. How are you this morning? Thank you for tuning in this morning. Hello, hello, hello. Gloria, hello. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you guys for jumping in. Glad to have you here in the chat this morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get to the show. I'm going to welcome on my first guest. Actually, I'm in a building that is managed by Stark County Minority Business Association. This beautiful studio that you guys see and talk to me about all the time, and everybody comes here and they're like, oh, it has so much character. It feels like we're in New York and all these amazing things. This happened in collaboration with Stark County Minority Business Association. So we're going to talk today about the benefits of being involved in Stark County Minority Business Association, which you can see a direct impact on me and my business every day. When you watch this show, you're seeing it. So we're going to talk about why you should consider, if you're a small business owner, why you should consider becoming a member of Stark County Minority Business Association, aka SCUMBA. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. My friend, Miss Ashley Gantz. Good morning, Ashley.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. This is funny because what's up, Lester? What's going on? Tony, what's up, my man? Walking with a purpose. What's up, Lester? What's up, my man? This actual space where the studio was once your office. So thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
I want to thank you for.
It's nice to be back.
It's nice to be back. This was her desk.
Right.
She was displaced, but she was willing to do it.
Right.
I came and talked to you guys and Leonard, and I said, we had a space here. And I said, man, if we could get that other space, we could move our whole thing here. And we do so much downtown. And you guys were all for it. And I'm just so grateful for it. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So for people who don't know you, tell them who you are and what your position is at SCUMBA, and not just the title, but people are like, I'm the head of the ceiling paint, and people are like, what does that mean? You know?
Right.
So
yeah.
Tell us what you do.
Sure. So I've been with SCUMBA about 2 years now. I'm the director of business development and growth, and I'm also the director of the Stark Tier 1 MBAC, which is the Minority Business Assistance Center, and that's through the Ohio Department of Development. So that was a whole lot, right?
Okay, yeah. We follow.
Yeah. So what I do, really, I focus on helping small businesses in our community, whether that's get state certification, helping them with procurement and contracting opportunities, business plans, capability statements, marketing plans. We do a lot of training, Lucas. We do a lot of programming in general, but one of the things that I guess I like most about my job is actually being out there in the community, making the partnerships that made this building possible, that made 10th Street possible, and trying to take that concept and then replicate it across our footprint.
That's a big deal because a lot of people don't realize the work being done in the background, right? Like, so this building has been here. Jumpstart was in this building.
Right.
Some people who are familiar come here and they say, oh, I remember when this was something else.
Right.
But for you being out in the community and talking to stakeholders and building owners, business owners, and talking about that, talk to us a little bit about that, because I know it is something that you in particular are passionate about. You're always talking about new things. You've said things about cooking spaces. I've heard you say so many amazing things. And I'm like, I don't think people know that. I think a lot of times people think, SCUMBA, it's Minority Business Association. I'm not sure what they do. But when you really think about where you guys are and where you want to go, talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's really about looking at our businesses and their needs and then me, stepping in and trying to help fill those needs.
Yeah.
We know we have a lot of people in the community who need that commercial kitchen space. Even this building, rent is so high. I mean,
Yes.
even here in Canton, everything is going up. And so we saw a need. Our businesses need affordable professional office space. And so that's how this came about.
Amazing.
10th Street, we're able to do the same thing there, but
Mhm.
add that retail component. We have so many businesses who they make great products and they have great things, but they can't afford their own brick and mortar.
Right.
And so then the conversation starts on how can we make that happen?
Yeah.
And so that's really the driving force behind what we do. We don't know how to effectively help businesses unless they communicate it to us.
It's fair.
And then, once that happens, that's what we try to do, just try to assist our businesses in any way we can to help them get to the next level. That's what it's about.
I love that. One of the things you talked about was like business plans, marketing plans. I think a lot of times, myself included, as an entrepreneur, they say flying by the seat of your pants. I don't even know what that really means, but that's something kind of like what my mom would say. You're figuring it out as you go, and we're all figuring it out. And a lot of businesses, all businesses, big, small, whatever, a lot of businesses fail within the first 5 years or whatever, right?
Absolutely.
Those statistics are huge.
Yeah.
And then you shrink that down to a small community, a small business in a small community. And I'm sure the numbers are unbelievable. How many people set up some type of LLC or S Corp or partnership or something.
Yep.
And within a few years, they're like, yeah, I kind of had a thing once and it's
Yep.
not there anymore. So talk to us a little bit about the importance of some of those other things, business plans, marketing plans. Like, what does that even look like in 2026? What is that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pieces. And the thing is, we really meet people where they are. So you could just come to us with an idea.
Hmm.
And it's like, well, help me flesh this out. How do I move this? I'm passionate about this. How do I move it forward? And so everything from getting them registered with the Secretary of State, their EIN number, their UEI number, especially if they're going to be receiving government funding.
What is
But
a UEI number?
a UEI number, unique identification,
What is it, sir? It
entity.
helps for grants or nonprofit or what is it?
Yeah. So in order to get like federal dollars,
Mhm.
you have to have that UEI number.
Okay, because I didn't know that. I have an EIN number. I knew what that was. You get
Right,
that when you
right,
sign up.
right.
You go on the state website, whatever you sign up for a business. And I've always heard that, known that. But there's things like that that I don't know about until I'm at a luncheon or I'm at a
Right.
business outing with you guys. And you guys say something. I'm like, what is
And
that?
the funny thing is too, we have an awesome staff at
Yes.
Scumba. And it's funny, we all kind of have our little niche.
Yes.
And I can tell you that UEI registering for that is kind of a nightmare.
Yes.
And so we very graciously allowed our finance director to help our folks with that.
Love that. Is it
Kind of
Ken? Is Ken?
Ken
Okay, shout
Hill.
out to
Yep,
Ken.
yep,
Yeah.
yep. But if you need a marketing plan, Elise Watkins is the go-to. I
Love
mean,
that.
amazing
Yes.
work that she does. But yeah, a business plan, funders want to see that. So that's one of the really important documents that pretty much every business needs, that and your capability statement, really showing your past experience. Um, like I say, the marketing plan, Elise really helps with that. But really, you could be a startup company or a multi-million dollar company. We have everyone in between. That's a part of our association.
Yeah.
And the type of help that's needed might be a little bit different, but we're there to, walk with you every step of the way. Some of our larger businesses with higher revenues, but we're still there to try to support them in getting contracts. There's a lot of construction projects going on.
Mm.
A lot of it's controversial, so we might not want to get into that.
Okay,
But
right.
we've got,
These days, right?
but
It's
we've
like I don't
got,
know what's what.
the
Right.
data centers going on. We had the
Mhm.
Stark County Jail project. We've, of course, the Hall of Fame is getting their stuff going again. And so even some of those larger companies that are members of ours, we're right there to
Yeah.
support them, get their, keep their name out there with these large, even out of state contractors
Mm.
and try to assist them in that way.
That makes a lot of sense. I think that's really good because, as you said, there are some builds like the data centers and things that are controversial, but in some ways, some things are going to happen. So let's
Right.
say maybe there shouldn't be 100 data centers, but there's going to be 10 new ones. I don't know what it's going to be,
Right.
but if they're going to happen anyway, wouldn't it make sense for businesses, small businesses, others who may not have gotten a chance to play in the game to get in the game? It's like they're going
Absolutely.
to dig that hole. You got a company that can dig a hole. Why wouldn't you get that contract and make that money and then use those dollars to impact or to influence or to do something if you feel, or put money behind candidates that you think makes, I don't know, but if you're not in the game, you're not in the game.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what happens to so many of us. It's like, they only give the contracts to the same people. Because you need an advocate often to get in
That's
the
it.
door. So talk to us about that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what we do a lot of. Our CEO, Leonard Stevens, is
Mhm.
very passionate about helping minority, contractors
Yeah.
and getting their name out there, going to those meetings
Right.
where the projects are going on before the projects start and saying, hey, this is going to be a $50 million project. It's important to have minority participation.
Yeah.
Even if on the project it's not mandatory anymore, but it's
Sure.
still important, right? So whether it's minorities like you and I, or
Mhm.
women, or
Yes.
veterans, or socially or economically disadvantaged folks, all of those folks are considered minorities in the state of Ohio.
Yeah.
And we're all taxpayers, right?
Yes.
And so that representation on the jobs is really important. And Leonard does a phenomenal job of, getting the word out there
Yeah.
about our contractors.
I love that. I think it's really, really, really important because again, I've had opportunities because of Scumba, even sometimes just being at the things, right? Like
Right.
being at a luncheon, being at an after hours, being at a cash mob, being at some of the things you guys do. The networking is half the battle.
Absolutely.
I hate to say this too. It's like like to the shy business owner out there. It's like, well, somebody's got to go speak for your company.
Right.
Somebody's got to come to the things. And
Right.
and being an introvert or shy or something doesn't dictate your ability to develop the skill to go to networking and to get to know people or to come to some of the
Yeah.
classes.
And
Like,
we help the businesses with that too. I
mhm,
mean, we always say nobody knows your business better than you do.
right?
A lot of times people are just a little nervous or
Yeah.
they're a little shy. We just had a class of 25 businesses. It was called our Climb program. Capital to launch independent micro enterprise businesses. It's a mouthful.
Yes.
So we reduced it to Climb.
Yes.
And it was heavily supported from the city of Canton, the state, lots of the local foundations. But anyway, 25 small businesses went through this program. And even though we were helping them with things like the business plan and marketing and inventory control, some of it was those soft skills
Mm.
that the businesses needed help with. And of course, we worked together with Lucas Live
Yes.
Media to get them, some exposure, social media.
Yeah.
They did a pitch at the graduation where there were
Awesome.
banks and the city of Canton representatives. The mayor was in attendance, and some of our foundation supporters. And so along the way, helping them even with that, because not everyone is good at what you do, Lucas,
Sure.
which is being very personable and being
Sure.
able to talk. But whatever it is that the
Mhm.
businesses need, like I say, we're there to help, and we don't turn anyone away. A lot of people think that too. Well, I'm not a minority. I can't get
Mm.
help from
That
them.
is a good point
And that's
because
not
I would
true.
assume that. And
Right.
so tell us that. So I would assume one, people are like trying to check their minority
Right.
status. It's like if something says it's for veterans, say, I'm like, well, I'm not one. You get in line and they're like, you're at Cedar Point and they're like, are you a veteran? You're like, I wish I was. How much
Right.
is the ticket? Right? It's like
Right.
I could go, suit up for a few days, I guess. But when it comes to minority businesses, I think it's the same thing. People are wondering if one, what are the qualifications? I think it's just black people, or something like that's all minorities. That's what I know.
Right.
But one, you're saying that's not true. So again, if you could give us some of those classes,
Sure.
statuses, and
Yeah.
then also you're saying you don't turn anyone away. You do offer things for everybody.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we have members that in no way fall under any of the minority categories, but
Hmm.
they are great supporters.
Hmm.
They believe in the mission. They want to get involved. They want to help others in the business community. They want to be connected. So we have many members who aren't minorities, but the minority categories, if you will, would be like racial or ethnic minorities, women-owned businesses, veterans, and then socially and economically disadvantaged businesses. So I guess I would put it this way: even if you are a Caucasian male, you can still be considered
Hmm.
a minority by the state's definition. And as I mentioned before, we are a Tier 1 Minority Business Assistance Center through the state of Ohio. And we provide these free services to the community. We are tasked to do so. We cover Stark, Carroll, Wayne, Tuscarawas, and Summit counties,
Wow.
helping small businesses. Akron is the tier 2. They're the bigger umbrella,
Hmm.
and they actually process all of the state certifications for our region. And so we work very closely with them. But to be a member of SCUMBA, you just have to be a supporter. You have to want to be a part of our small, business community,
Hmm.
and that's really all there is to it. We'd love to have more people engage with us and
Hmm.
become members. But if you're a small business and you just need those resources, again, those are free to anyone.
I love that. I think that clarification is so important, and people don't realize again. And I always think about this. I have the same conversation. I just was talking to Darla from the chamber here last week, and have a lot of conversations with them. Oftentimes, people don't know the benefits of these programs, and they
Hmm.
think, "Well, I was a member of whatever it was, and I went to lunch a couple times, right?
Right.
Or I heard about a networking event, and nothing came from it." And I do say networking events can be tough because everybody's pitching and nobody's catching. So I'm
Right.
always like, you can't always go just to say, do something with me, do something with me. You have to go openly saying, let me
Absolutely.
find a business here that I'm going to work with too. I'm going to work with this person who does social media. I'm going to work with this person who does marketing. I'm going to work with this person because I need some trees trimmed in my yard, and I'm going to support their business. And then, hopefully they will support mine, or somebody will. It has to be a ecosystem
Absolutely.
for it to flow, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we see that a lot. And we make it a point too to support our members. If you
Hmm.
come to our lunch and learns, our members are the caterers.
Yes.
If you
Yeah.
come to, our events, our
We're
photographer.
there. Your
Yeah,
videographers.
right,
We're
exactly.
there for so many things.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
important. And as you said, that networking, getting out there and meeting other businesses.
Yeah.
And we see that a lot. And a lot of the times we help make that connection for our members. Hey, do you know somebody who can help me with my website? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
and we direct them. We do have a member directory on
Yes.
our website.
Hmm.
So starkcountyminoritybusiness.org, and you can go and check out that
Yeah.
directory if you're looking for services. But
I love that. I love that. Scumba in the comments there, you guys make sure you're following their pages there. They say, does any of this sound good, like a good fit for you or your business? We have 50% off membership sale going
that's
on
right.
now, ladies and gentlemen. 50% off is a great deal because it's not even that expensive for the year anyway. What is it?
No.
Out of this?
It's 150 for for-profits, so now
Mhm.
it's 75. And yeah, and then our nonprofits is 75. So,
And that's a year.
a year.
So if you think about it right now, $150 is the general fee for a for-profit business. Right now with the 50% off, we're talking $75 for the entire year,
Yeah.
which gets you access to programming and classes and luncheons and so many other things. I mean, The people who came out of the climb program, each of those businesses got money, right?
Yes, we also give grants through a lot of our programs.
Yeah.
So, our climb participants, that was a $3,000 grant. Our ERA program, Expanding Resources for All, that's a $4,000
Did
grant.
you guys hear that? The participants in this program came to this program, they came to classes to learn how to have a successful business. The little things that people don't know. They worked on it, from soft skills to marketing to business plans to how do you get funding from banks and grants and other things. Taught them that stuff, gave them vendor space to sell their stuff, and they
Yeah.
got $3,000. They got 3,000. They you go to school and you pay to go to school. You come to school
Right.
with them and they pay you to come. I mean, that's just crazy, right? And then the ERA program, shout out to Nate Chester. I got to mentor him last year in that program. And they got $4,000.
4,000. Yep.
So for $150 or maybe $75, or if your nonprofit is 75, so it's half of that, whatever that is. I think that's $3.22. No, just kidding. It's not that much, right? It's like $35. Like, you could be a part of something that could have a tremendous impact on your business. And for so many people, I just think it's so worth it. Miss Bates, what's going on? Hello, hello. Some of the participants have jumped in. Hello, thank you guys for being here. These are some of the participants in the Climb program. Truthfully now, Webster. I'm like, when I see names that aren't their names, I'm like, what a name? Webster. Webster's somebody who's in the program.
Yes, Webster was amazing. He was one of my favorite people in the program, and it was great working with Webster and
Yeah.
to see where he started and to see where he finished. I mean, Webster's business plan was great. I mean, it's really nice to see the businesses go through the journey,
Yes.
right? And it's funny because I told Webster at the graduation, I said, I'm going to be calling you, we're
Yeah.
going to be staying in contact
Sure.
with these folks because we don't, at the end of the educational component of
Mhm.
it, we don't want to lose contact, right?
Yeah.
We're going to be supporting this cohort through March.
That's
And so
awesome.
I've got some big things planned
Yeah.
for our Climb folks.
That's
We're
awesome.
going to keep it going with workshops. We're going to keep it going with small group sessions,
Mhm.
one-on-ones they can have. I'm going to have office hours online where they can just hop on if they have a question or,
Right.
need something. So we want to just continue supporting our businesses every step of the way.
I love it. Shout out to you guys, Miss Bates. Shout out to Webster, and I've known Webster for years, and I know him as somebody who sings. I didn't know he's somebody who cooks as well. So Webster, put your information, and you guys, Miss Bates, you guys put your information in the chat so people can see it. And I look forward another part of the collaboration, like you guys working with us. We've created some videos that'll be coming out of each
Absolutely.
person.
Yeah.
So you guys are supporting our business.
Mhm.
We're supporting those businesses. And the ecosystem and the economy is
Yep.
developed inside of that. And I look forward to having some of these people on the show. I'd love to highlight some of the people who've come through some of these programs
That would be
to
great.
give it even greater benefit and even more exposure.
That'd be awesome.
So,
We'd
all
love
right,
that.
before we close, let's talk about the upcoming event. You have an event
Yes.
coming up this weekend. Let's talk
Yes,
about
we
it.
do. So we are so excited about our Kirk Schuring Business Development Center, named after the late Senator Schuring.
Yes.
And that's where we ran our Climb program out of. We have office space upstairs. We have over 15 vendors that are selling in the store.
Mhm.
And we had that ribbon cutting event, which was, our all of our supporters, the foundations and the political folks who supported it. But we didn't have anything for the community.
Yeah.
And, Betty was in that building before, Betty Smith with
Yes.
enrichment. Then it was vacant for a while.
Mhm.
And Steve Kuhn, love Steve. It was so gracious to allow us to, be in the building and to work with us and support us.
Mhm.
And so we want this to be a community event. Hey, we're over here. There's a retail store.
Yes.
Shop local, shop small business. And so we're going to have a DJ and we're going to have, stuff for the kids, and it's going to be a great time, food trucks and great shopping indoors, and the main thing is just getting it out in the community,
Yeah.
again, to support those businesses who are selling out of there. So we want to have everyone come out. It's going to be a great time. I think Scumba, I think we're going to be doing like some slushies and popcorn. Like we're all getting,
Right,
we're all
figured it out. Like,
getting.
what are you bringing?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So it's going to be a good time, but bring the kids, family friendly event. My son will be there for a little while, but he'll be good for about 30 minutes, I
Okay,
think,
okay,
and
good
then
30
he'll have to
minutes. He's
go.
like, I gotta get out of here. Right. I love that.
But yeah, we want to welcome everyone down there and just let them know we're here. We're open Monday through Friday. We're going to start having hours on Saturday
Love that.
as well.
Love that.
So yeah, just to let the community know and let them come through the building and hear the story, how this all came about, with Senator Schuring's support and Steve Kuhn wanting to get involved and start county minority business and
Yeah.
just the whole story.
Yes.
So
I love it. Thank you so much for coming on the show
thank you
today.
for having me.
We hope that all of you guys out there who are watching come on down this Saturday to this great event. The flyer was just up. We'll share more information. Make sure you're following Stark County Minority Business Association. Again, there's so many great resources to everybody out there. Again, shout out to the people who are in the recent Climb program. If you guys didn't hear that, they got $3,000. They got office space or vendor space in the building. They're getting support all the way through March and beyond. And there will be other cohorts of the Climb program as well as the ERA program.
Absolutely.
And so many other things that you guys are doing. There's businesses out there that could use this help. Don't miss out. Be a part, be a supporter of Stark County Minority Business Association. This was my guest, Miss Ashley Gantz.
Thank you so much, Lucas.
Thank you
Thanks
so much for being here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to transition to our next guest. Thank you, Ashley, for being in the building. She's going to head out and head down to 10th Street. They got stuff going on all the time. I'm so glad she was able to stop by her old office space. This used to be her office. If you guys missed that at the beginning of the show, but she was once here, and she so graciously moved out of this space so I could have more space and we could make it happen here. At this time, I want to welcome our next guest. You guys may not have heard of Canton Comedy Boom, but if you're fans of comedy, I want you guys to lean in and listen right now. If you're getting ready for work and you're busy and you can't stare at your phone, listen to it right now while you're still doing whatever you're doing. Don't scroll away. If you're watching us on Facebook, your temptation is to scroll off somewhere and go do something else. Don't do it. Stay right here or open it up on your tablet or your TV or something on YouTube so you can follow along and listen along. Shout out to Zanita, who said good morning earlier. Hey, Zanita, I don't know if you're still here. Zanita, I need you to send me some pictures and some videos of the event from this past weekend. I was looking for some online this morning and somebody posted a few, but I'd love to get some from you all to share on Wednesday's show to talk about your great mental health walk, which was this past weekend. Shout out to the ladies of My Sister's Oil. So glad you guys had that great event. I hate that I missed it. But so glad that you guys had it. You this weekend again, come out to 500 10th Street Northwest, Canton, Ohio, 44703 from 2 to 7 this Saturday for the great event that's going on. Thank you for throwing that in the comments there, ladies and gentlemen. See, Lester's here on YouTube. See, he can do other stuff because he's on YouTube and he can also do other stuff that he has to do. Shout out to Lester Sanders, also a part of Lucas Live Media team. We appreciate him so much for his love and support. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome to the show my next guest. Now I'm going to welcome my guest, and then I might have to jump up and make adjustments to the camera because that's just what we do because we're live right now, right? Her name is Lydia. She contacted me earlier this year about potentially helping with an event. We didn't coordinate that one, but then I walked out of this building. This is the beautiful part about being downtown Canton, and she was out there at Centennial Plaza, and my good friend Wendy was like, "Hey, you guys need to know each other," and they invited me to be the host of Kids Doing Comedy. I want to pull that back up. My things aren't labeled right. Oh, there it is. Kids Doing Comedy at Centennial Plaza, free to the public. Please plan to come this Thursday at 7 p.m. I would love to see you guys there. Like, it would mean a lot to me if you guys would come out. So some of y'all will be reaching out to you personally and be like, "Hey, you busy? Your kids busy? Come out to see Kids Doing Comedy." It's going to be like an hour or less. It's not going to be a long show. Great time to come outside, enjoy the weather, enjoy some fun. And if you have kids, to let your kids see something that maybe they didn't think they could be a part of, because I've heard of science camp. I know there's basketball camps. I know there's cheerleading camps. But to a kid who is interested in comedy, I never knew there was anything for them. So we want you guys to learn about it at this great event. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further delay, welcome to the show, my guest, Miss Lydia. How are you today?
Hi, Lucas. I'm great. Thanks.
Welcome. Lydia, say your last name for me.
Carmany.
Carmany. That's Carmany like harmony. Doesn't that sound good? I was like, I don't know exactly how to sound. I'm like Carmany, it's just like it sounds. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here
Of
today.
course.
You are the co-owner of Canton Comedy Boom.
Yep.
What in the world is Canton Comedy Boom, Lydia?
Canton Comedy Boom's an independently run comedy production company that operates currently out of a theater in the lower level of Second April Studios. And we produce about 4 to 6 shows a month, usually almost every weekend. During the summer, we're trying to take a couple weeks off so we can go on
Relax a little bit,
vacation.
right? Makes sense.
But we've brought all kinds of different comedy from stand-ups that are local to touring national comics to sketch comedy, musical comedy, improv. We do a monthly improv show. And really just trying to bring comedy to the city. We didn't really have a real dedicated venue for comedy when I moved here 6 years ago, and so we wanted to create a space for that, to highlight comedians, and like I said, to bring laughter to Canton.
I love it. I'm a huge fan of comedy. I said that earlier. I am a comedy fan. I'm a fan of kids. So this Kids Doing Comedy piece is really cool, but it's not all of it. So we want to talk to you guys about Kids Doing Comedy here at Centennial Plaza this Thursday, 7 p.m. Come on out. I'll be the host. There's some hilarious kids. I got to meet several of them yesterday, and they were already just funny. I was like, I worked with kids, and we'd always be telling kids, sit down, be quiet, sit down, be quiet. I'm like, this is a room full of silly kids
who want to be there.
Who want to be there.
Yeah.
And that was so fun and so cool. So let's talk about comedy overall and what overall you guys do, and then we'll boil down to Kids Doing Comedy. So talk to us. You said 4 to 6 shows a month. That sounds like a lot. That sounds like there's more than, there's only 4 weekends a month. I don't know what's going on. So talk to us about
Saturdays, we have some sort of, whether it's a headliner or a showcase, or like I said, we do improv shows the last Saturday of every month. Although this month it's a combined variety show with sketch, improv, and stand-up, and a little musical number in there. And so we also do a segment called The Newsroom, which is kind of like your Saturday Night Live weekend update, which I know you love SNL.
Listen, sign me up for that. I need to come in and do that.
And so we do them, like I said, every Saturday. This month is packed. We've already done 2 shows. We do a First Friday show free every single first Friday from 8 to about 9:15 in, like I said, the lower level of Second April Studios. And that's kind of where people can come to get like a sampler platter of, we get 8 or 9 comics out doing, 8 to 10 minutes, and they show people what the rest of our ticketed shows are kind of like. And, it's a curated show, even though it's free to the public. And then the rest of the month, it is always very different. We kicked off this month with a show with a couple of our favorite performers who as a celebration of like Pride Month. And then this Saturday, we're doing a comedy by astrology, the Gemini show. Wow. And then the end of the month, we have a variety show, and then we have a headliner coming in from out of state to do clean comedy. So we're really excited. We have the biggest variety, no matter what your mood is, or, and then we've got this family-friendly kids show as well for the family. So, sometimes it's hard for parents to find like a babysitter or whatever. So we are doing this show so that everybody can come to it, and it's totally free right in the plaza. So we're excited. But we do all kinds of different comedy, and we're looking at potentially even branching out and using the theater space for more than just comedy, but that's under the umbrella of the theater and not necessarily Canton Comedy Boom.
I love that.
But
so Second April is an art gallery right here on Cleveland Avenue. If you guys know where Culture Lounge and all these things are, right here on Cleveland Avenue. It's around the corner from Luca and I never say the
Frontimos.
Fronimos. I could never say. I want to say Frominos, Domino, like Domino, anyway, Fronimos. But it's right there on Cleveland Avenue. If you guys kind of glance over, you'll see it. It's literally where we are. If people who come to see me here at the studio, it's really in the front of our building. Like you guys are right on the other side of us. And going down into the basement, you guys have a nice theater down there. Super cool. I love from the carpet to the stage. It just feels like a real, I don't want to say like underground, but it feels like a real true spot. Like it really has that feel. Was that something you guys were going for? Talk to me about that, about really making that space your own.
Yeah, well, we came in, it was actually the former proprietor who did another kind of gallery and studio space, kind of similar to this, but with like a little bit less retail. And when they invited us in, I'm sure you remember from years ago that space was like, it was the Kathleen Howland Theater, and it was a movie theater at one point. There have been lots of different, I think the Players Guild ran something there, and people have used it for all kinds of different performance art. But when we got there, they had like taken the stage, taken the curtains, taken the sound, taken the chairs, taken the lights. So there was nothing. It was an empty.
Like the Grinch stole Christmas.
It was an empty room.
Last can of Who Hash.
But a huge empty room.
Yes.
And with two like almost burnt out flickering fluorescent lights. And that was it. That was everything. So we built like a little stage out of like pallets and got a mobile. Shout out to Ryan Miller of Delhi, Ohio, because he got us our first little mobile microphone and speaker set. We had to set them on cinder blocks so people could hear it.
Love that.
It was BYO chair.
Okay.
We didn't have our own chairs, but then gradually throughout the last 3 years, we, raised enough money to buy chairs, and then we built a stage, and then we put up curtains, and now, are moving towards like the more professional like lighting equipment and sound, and we have this stellar green room for our performers. And so it's a really like fully functional comedy theater. We don't call ourselves a club because we don't serve food or anything like that. We have a very limited liquor license. So
limited liquor license.
We can only sell on first Fridays, and it has to, and it raises money for the arts nonprofit. So we really just wanted to, like I said, bring comedy to Canton, consistent comedy to Canton. And
I think it's super cool. It's funny because I was introduced with kids doing comedy, right? So I'm like, okay, it's kids doing comedy. And then you said we also have clean comedy, which made me think, wait a minute, I think I was thinking kids. So then I was thinking all the adult comedy was clean, and I love clean comedy and I love kids comedy, but I also grew up watching Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence and Dave Chappelle. I mean, that's all I know. So it's like there is a lot of other comedy out there that's a little edgy and all that stuff. And a lot of us as grown adults, we enjoy those things. And so this isn't just a kids comedy place, right?
No.
You guys have it all.
Yeah, we recommend ages 18 and up for most of our shows.
Yeah, they strongly recommend. Blink. Like,
but
be careful.
We will advertise, especially when we have a comedian that bills themselves as a clean comic. And what that means is that it's not necessarily for families and for kids, and like kids probably won't get a lot of the jokes, but it's clean for anybody who finds, like crude humor offensive or like cursing offensive, which plenty of people do. They can come and watch a clean comedian who's not going to include any of that, who's going to tell jokes, that have the lightest bit of innuendo at worst. Right. And there are tons of clean comedians that are huge right now, like Nate Bargatze and Jim Gaffigan, and like that bill themselves as clean. But
that's a good point,
right? They're huge. They're selling out arenas. But they don't curse.
Regan. I never even thought about some of the funniest.
Right. We're actually getting Nate Bargatze's good friend Brian Bates out to headline at the Plaza in September.
Oh, cool.
And so, again, clean comedy, and it's going to be free to the public. We're not ticketing it. Anybody can come out and just enjoy, and they can bring their families. Yeah. Again, like whether or not it's directed towards kids, it won't offend.
Yes, that's the key. There.
Yeah.
And to me, I think the key differentiation is that there are things for people who just like regular raw comedy. You don't have to be like, well, I don't know if I want to go to the gentle comedy show. It's like, no, they have regular comics and regular comedians and regular stuff, and you're into that. If you want something more family friendly, they also have things that are for that. And when it comes to kids doing comedy, let's talk a little bit about this. Isn't just kids talent show. Just walk up here, any kid in the audience, anybody out there. This is programming you guys have been working on with the kids. Talk to us about that a little bit.
Yep. So for the past year, due to a grant from Arts and Stark, we've been able to hire teachers to come and actually work with kids specifically on 3 different areas: sketch comedy, improv, which really helps them build their skills for like just stage performance generally, and joke writing. And you got to sit in on a little bit of our workshop where we were talking to the kids about, how to speak into a microphone, how to introduce yourself at the beginning and end of a set, how to close out, tips and tricks for not feeling nervous, or for channeling your nerves, into positive thinking. And so we try to teach all of these kids from, experienced teaching artists, and we were able to hire people that know what they're doing and that work well with kids and but the kids range in such a wide variety of ages. We have 2 5-year-olds coming on this show, and then we've got kids that are like 12, almost 13, and so we're gonna definitely continue the program even if we don't get a renewal for funding. But if anyone from Arts and Stark is listening, we've got that proposal out there.
And if anybody knows anybody at Arts and Stark, I think I know some people down there. I'm going to call you guys.
But if we don't get it, we're still going to continue the program. We just might have to like condense the program a little bit. But we've done four quarterly workshops with the kids, and then like a week after the workshop, we do a showcase for them where they each get up to 5 minutes to come and tell jokes. Now, some of the younger ones, well, it varies drastically. Some kids kind of just write down like jokes that they hear or street jokes, and they're just getting their feet wet as far as performing jokes on stage. But they're still getting that feeling and that immediate gratification of like, I made a room full of people laugh, even if it's a knock-knock joke that everybody's heard 20 times before. But then there are kids who, of varying ages, who take it very seriously and write and craft their own 5-minute set. And it's really something beautiful to watch kids who, whether or not they've had prior performance experience, they've fought through the nerves, which almost every adult comedian that I know still gets nervous sometimes, depending on the show. And these kids just work hard on honing their jokes, and that's where the workshops come in, is that we can kind of give them feedback and they can bounce stuff off. We can say, maybe, this ending could be a little bit stronger. But really all of the innovation and creativity comes from the kids. And it's one of the most joyful and heartwarming things that I could ever be a part of. And I've said to people before, like, if the rest of all this comedy stuff goes away, I'm still going to be doing the kids' comedy program because I've seen how much it can positively impact these kids. And, just like with adult comedians, it's always like the kids that their parents are like, they're always making us laugh.
Yes.
And kids are so energetic. They need somewhere to channel that energy. And we give them a place where they can be with other kids that have to wiggle and jump up and down and be constantly performing. And they're allowed to do that with us. Nobody's yelling at them.
You're not saying, the class clown.
Exactly.
For being the class clown.
Exactly. You're in a room full of clowns. So run around the room if you need to a couple times, get your wiggles out. And these kids are just flourishing, in my opinion. And I could see some of them absolutely doing this well into adulthood.
I agree. It was such an honor to come yesterday to the class and see some of the young people. And it was really heartwarming. Like, it really was. It was like, all the days when you're young and you're told sit down and be quiet, that wasn't what it was. It was like they were welcome to be funny, to be silly. Sometimes I see kids, and I work with kids at Heritage Christian, Beacon Academy, Canton City Schools, in various programming, and often, they're in classrooms, and you see the kids who are funny, but they're like trying to get those jokes off in between, not getting in trouble, and
Yeah.
lunch and at the table and other things. But there was nowhere to craft that skill.
Yeah.
And many of the greatest comedians out there had families that allowed them to be that in some way, to allow them to craft that. Even myself, in my personality that I show on the show, came from comedy. Like my brother was older than me. He was like a student of comedy. He made me a student of comedy. We watched everybody stand up, everybody's stuff. And he would make me watch like the timing of things, like pay attention to the timing, watch how they did that. Look how they set that up. Look at this callback and different things like that. Shout out to my brother, Jonathan. He really helped me with that. And so as a corporate trainer, a keynote speaker, a show host, I have all this energy and I get to be like this because I got to be like that.
Yeah.
And I was a quieter kid, but at home, my brother was helping me develop that talent.
Yep.
And my mom and family, they were super supportive. We came from a super silly family. We laughed and jumped
Same.
and played and did all kinds of silly stuff. We didn't have much money, but we had so much laughter and joy that to come into that room yesterday and see those young people, and I could see it in them. It was so, from the littlest one who I was like, he's got something, you know, and there were a couple older girls, and I was like, she was what some might call sassy or something. Like in other areas, it would almost be looked at in some way as wrong.
Right.
And it was just so right in that moment. So I'm so grateful for that place that you guys have made for those young people.
Yeah. It's like I tell people all the time, if I need like a little just infusion of joy, I'm like, I can't wait for the next workshop. I love seeing these kids be able to be fully themselves.
Yes.
And learning actual skills that go beyond, like you said, you learned from comedy how to do well at what you do for a living.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what like we want to start helping instill in them. And we have big plans for where we're going to take like the kids who age out of the program. It goes through age 12. Well, we've got a few 12-year-olds now that have been in the program for a few years. And we really think that like those that want to continue, we're going to find a place for them and continue expanding what we can offer to kids.
I love that. I want to shout out somebody I know who I think needs to get involved with some comedy. She's like 16, 17 years old, but she's got to do. I want her to come to the show. Avery Ellis, daughter of Joy and Mike Ellis, is hilarious. She's one of my daughter's best friends. She is so funny. Now, her and she comes from a performing family. Her mom has done every play at the Players Guild when they were here years ago, Joy Ellis, and her whole family, aunts and uncles, are performers, and she has a presence, and she's just naturally funny. And I was thinking, how nice it would have been had she had something like this when she was younger. It wasn't here. And now that there's something here, even just to get exposure to it, to even though at 16, 17 years old, she could be saying, well, if those kids that young can do it, I could try something, you know, and start getting into it. So Joy, if you're watching, Mike, if you're watching, get Avery down to the show this week to make sure she can at least see this, because I think she would be great at it. And so many, and my son too. I need to make my son come. He's absolutely hilarious. He's an adult now, but still to get that exposure, I think matters so much. So Kids Doing Comedy is this Thursday. I am so honored to be the host of it. Anybody out there who knows me, I'd love for you guys to come out this Thursday, June 7th. Is that our date? I'm like, I know the date. It's June.
It's the 11th.
It's June 11th. It's June 11th because today is the 8th. So it couldn't have been yesterday, right? It's June 11th, 7/11, right? I do that much. And yesterday was 6/7 day, by the way, for young people who have young kids. Of course, your young teens or kids probably told you yesterday was 6/7 day. Anyway, but we want you guys to come out. Anything else you'd like to share with us about Canton Comedy Boom and what you guys want to do here in this community?
We want to stay here. And so no matter what form that takes, whether we're, you know, in the same space forever, whether we are doing pop-up shows elsewhere, which we have done. If there's anybody that wants to collaborate with us, we also run, for those who might be interested in trying out comedy and never have before. My co-owner of the business, Casey Curry, runs an open mic at the Daily Preston Akron every single Tuesday night at 7:30. And so if anybody is just like, you know what, I could get up and tell some jokes. Yeah, you can. anybody who wants to can.
Yeah.
And if you show up, you can go up. And so that's a cool place that kind of eventually turns into a feeder for like our first Friday shows and our ticketed shows, if we get people who continue to work on it and, you know, take it seriously and are funny. And so we always are looking for people to collaborate with, whether it's us doing a pop-up show at a business. We did one at an art gallery in Worcester. Like we've done it at restaurants. We do a weekly showcase also at Arcadia Grill, which is literally right next door to here.
Yeah, you guys are behind that.
Yeah.
We've been noticing that on the window down there.
Yep.
And we're like, oh, they have comedy here. We didn't even know.
Yep. Well, my friend Eric Simons would run it, but he just moved away for a few months, but he booked up the entire summer for while he's gone. And so
you guys will make sure that happens.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, we called it Canton Comedy Boom because we wanted to turn into, a movement, a boom of comedy. And so whether it's me and Casey and my partner Matt, whether it's us producing every single show or some friends, we have lots of friends who will just do pop-ups. There's, people that do it at downtown restaurants or wherever. We're just happy to see the comedy community grow. And people really need a break from the world right now. And we love bringing people together to laugh. And I'm telling you, watching these kids do comedy, and so many of them worked so hard on this. And it's the most heartwarming thing. So I hope everybody comes out, and feel free to reach out to us, cantcomediboom.com, if you have any ideas for a way to collaborate with us or you want to get involved.
I love it. Well, I'm going to get involved. I'm already involved now, but if you guys see me, like actually doing comedy one day, that's good. This is where it all started. Thank you so much for being my guest. I can't wait to see you this Thursday.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
It was my pleasure having you.
Thanks, Lucas.
Thank you so much, Lydia. Ladies and gentlemen, Lydia from Canton Comedy Boom, co-owner. We have completed the show for today. One more shout out to our sponsor. Shout out to Sarda. You know who they are. Let's continue to support Sarda, Jessica Danielle at the Jessica Danielle Nail Bar, as well as NC Nail Lounge now in North Canton, Ohio. Make sure you check them out. The Linda Reibenstein team, if you're looking for a realtor, make sure you check her out. We will bring these more information to you guys. Make sure you check us out at lucaslivemedia.com for more information on that. And also shout out to Ace Carpet Cleaning, our most recent advertiser. You guys will be seeing more about these advertising partners on our website, on our show, and you guys are seeing them showing up on our reels. We're putting their logos on there for you guys to check out. So please check them out and support them. If you're a business who's looking for more ways to advertise, reach out to us. We'd love to work with you. This has been another episode of Lucas Live. Thank you guys so much for here. Rob, I saw you in the comments. Lester, Hollis, hello. Thank you guys for being here. Rachel, we saw you here. Thank you so much for being here. Dar, thank you for popping in. We appreciate all of you guys. We'll see you guys this Wednesday. We have a great show on real estate. We have Linda from the Linda Reibenstein team who will be here. And we have a lender from out of town. We'll have our first virtual guest on this week as well. We're going to talk about real estate lending and how you can buy or sell your home this year. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk to you guys next time on the next episode of Lucas Live. Everybody have a great day.